Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the November 7th, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. I'm Caleb Black. Luke the Big Dog Williams, our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury. And it's time to talk about This Week in Wrestling. As we already talked about in the news segment, Jonathan Gresham of Ring of Honor, who is also Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion with Jay Lethal, has won the Ring of Honor Pure Title Tournament, making him the new inaugural Ring of Honor Pure Champion.
Yeah, a fantastic gimmick with the whole Pure Title situation, I think.
Yeah, love it. Also, Jay White is going to Wrestle Kingdom.
He's Mr. Money in the Bank.
He's Mr. Money in the Bank. He's going on to Wrestle Kingdom to challenge Naito for both the IWGP World and IWGP Intercontinental Championships. I think he's challenging for both, but I know for a fact he's challenging for the world title.
Hey, he should only get the challenge for one title.
Yeah, the G1 Classic has come to an end.
Let The Miz be able to, cash in his briefcase on something.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but let's talk a little bit about Raw, SmackDown, AEW, all of the usual suspects. Raw, nothing happened.
It was Raw. It was the Randy Orton show like it is every week.
And even the beginning of Monday Night Raw, even the beginning, because the best thing to watch right now is obviously what's going on with The Fiend and Randy, was just very slow. They botched the camera angle on Drew McIntyre's Claymore kick. It made it look like crap. And I try so hard I try every week. I put it on and I'm thinking, man, I'm going to watch. I'm going to finish it.
I don't blame the camera angle. I blame Drew McIntyre.
You blame Drew McIntyre?
He blames the former champ. That's what he blames.
Everybody knows it had nothing to do with Randy Orton. It was not his fault.
It wasn't his fault.
Then like you said, the best part of Monday Night Raw has been for the last couple months, or WWE in general, the Firefly Funhouse, the stuff with Alexa Bliss is genius.
Yeah.
It's got that creepy overtone to it that is like, where are they going to go next? And then at the end of the segment with the tongue, the long red tongue, which is, of course, a play on the Viper and the whole situation. A lot of people didn't get it.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, what on earth is that? Immediately, it was like, oh, that's a dig at Orton. That's totally a dig at Orton.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where they follow next week.
Yeah.
And where this continues to head.
I'm really curious to see, too, because leading into Survivor Series, how The Fiend is going to play into the Randy Orton-Roman Reigns match.
As well as where Drew McIntyre's going.
Yeah. We also saw Raw. We have, apparently, team captain of Raw is AJ Styles, along with Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, and...
The Big Black Ninja.
That's AJ Styles' bodyguard.
He's on the team.
So self-appointed captain.
Yeah, self-appointed captain. It's AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, and who else? Who's there?
Sheamus.
Thank you very much. I could not remember for the life.
How could you forget that giant pale guy with bright red hair?
He bled into the background.
Oh, here we go. But other than that, that's really all that you saw on Raw. Mustafa Ali and T-Bag were doing something Retribution related. I'm not calling he's T-Bag. That is your name forevermore. You can thank Eric Stevens.
Right.
Or David Arquette.
The Retribution thing, they really need to either add a new member that matters.
Yeah.
Or just scrap it entirely.
Good old T-Bag. Moving on to Impact, we saw a deadly alliance formed between Eric Young, Ken Shamrock, and Sami Callihan.
Interesting.
Eric, I like it. I like the faction warfare that's going to come from it. Obviously, they've booked the North versus the Good Brothers for the Impact Tag Team titles at their next show, their next pay-per-view.
The North and the Good Brothers are going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be so.
It's actually what it's called is.
Is it? It's not.
Maybe it is Victory.
I think it's Victory.
Regardless, it's an exclusive for Impact Plus. It's not going to be
which is the first time I think they've done that. Really, utilized Impact Plus, and they should be using it more.
Agreed.
So I'm super excited for that tag match, though. Also, Rohit Raju will be defending the X Division Championship against TJP.
That should be a fantastic.
And talk about somebody who's just TJP looks
just in sick shape.
Great, ridiculously athletic. That match is going to be so good. Cannot wait. That's really all that happened this week on Impact. Let's talk a little bit about AEW. It's the go-home show for Full Gear. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston had a killer promo exchange to close the show out. Eddie Kingston is legit. He looks legit. He feels legit. Him and Mox are going to burn the house down.
It's a shame. It's a shame that Eddie Kingston is so good. that he's basically being used as nothing more than fodder for Jon Moxley.
I don't know, man. His build-up has been really strong.
We all know where this is going to go, and it's all going to go towards Kenny Omega beating Jon Moxley for the title.
Oh, man. I hope that doesn't happen.
That's exactly what's
not Kenny Olivier. Not Twinkle Toes McFingerbangs.
Yeah, no, I've not really been that impressed with AEW in the last couple weeks.
Neither have I. I think they're getting. I think this last episode was much better because it's the go home for Full Gear,
right?
But we're going to cover Full Gear in a separate video, so obviously we always do that with the review. But I don't know. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Like I said, the semis. We now know that it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page for the shot at the championship, which I called that weeks ago on the YouTube show, this show. Anytime they do a tournament, man, anytime that they have a tournament, it has to forward one angle, which is the wrong way to do a tournament.
I agree. And they've done it twice now. So I am optimistic that the next time they do book a tournament that hopefully there is a surprise element to it, because that's really where the fun in tournaments are.
Right.
For instance, we were surprised with the turnout of the Ring of Honor Pure Title tournament.
Yeah, and it actually and that or the G1.
Yeah.
That shows you how a tournament should be ran.
Yeah.
Or how the King of the Ring circa 93 to 98 were ran. It wasn't ran just on one storyline. You never knew who was going to win in the tournament. Nowadays, like, we're going to do the King of the Ring, and everyone knew Baron Corbin was going to be king.
Right.
I mean, there's no surprise behind it. There has to be that element of surprise.
You mean professional wrestling that surprises and engages people? What nonsense are you speaking? Never happened.
Maybe I'm a purist. Maybe I just miss it the way it used to be. I don't know.
No, I do too.
So are you watching wrestling from the 90s?
Late
anymore?
80s,
yes.
Circa 87?
I just went through the whole first season of Tough Enough again since I was
Tough
in
enough,
wrestling
baby.
myself.
Yes, baby.
But, yeah, Dusty should have been there. But that's pretty much all there is really to say about AEW.
Yeah, following up with NXT really had no. They're promoting something. How am I trying to say this? They're setting up for a match between Ciampa and Velveteen Dream.
Yes, because we need another Velveteen Dream Ciampa match.
And that's really the only thing that's changed. We had something with Gargano.
No news on Balor.
Yeah, still no definitive champion.
Pat McAfee's group of hooligans ran roughshod.
Yeah.
He took responsibility for the jumping of Adam Cole at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. When Rich Holland came out and jumped him.
Even though now Rich Holland's hurt and hasn't been back on television yet. Yeah, there's a lot of people out in NXT. You would think it was WrestleMania season.
Yeah. Talk about NXT, though. NXT UK, the match between Ilya Dragunov and Walter for the NXT UK title.
Hands down.
Wow.
Hands down.
Wow.
I thought, now here's the deal. I thought at TakeOver that it couldn't get any better than Balor and O'Reilly, and I was sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
Because this was hard-hitting, it was intriguing, it drug you in, it was a great match.
Beat the fuck out of each other, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was very...
You want to talk about the way pro wrestling can evolve, or what pro wrestling should evolve into? It's that match.
Agreed.
If you haven't watched it, get the WWE Network. Watch Ilya Dragunov versus Walter, because it's worth it. SmackDown, Friday night. Sasha Banks and Bayley had a really good match with the women.
Stole the show.
Consistently, Sasha Banks and Bayley in the women's division have been at the top of the women's division for the entire year, especially with Becky gone, especially with Charlotte being out. They are carrying the weight, and they are fucking killing it every single week.
What they're doing is they're killing it in-ring. They're taking care of the whole in-ring aspect of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Then you flip that, and your storyline-wise, it doesn't get any better
than the best friend turning on the best friend.
Then Roman... Well, no. Then Roman Reigns
and Jay, yeah.
And that gimmick that's going there, that's got your storylines. That's got the people who are in-depth story.
Yeah, SmackDown's the most watchable wrestling show right now, for sure.
It really is.
It's getting better every week.
For being the quote-unquote B show.
Yeah, you're out of your mind. Roman Reigns as a champion, it just looks like an animal. Jey Uso is proving people wrong all up and down the place. I can't wait for Jimmy to come back and be healed, because that's when you're going to get the meat potatoes of the Samoa Dynasty.
I said it before, I'll say it again. I think that they jumped too quickly into him falling subservient to
I agree with
Roman,
that.
but then again, I got to thinking about it, and Jimmy's not going to be as receptive. Are we going to see a split in the Usos?
That would be something that you could book again, a Roman versus Jimmy series of matches.
Jay versus Jimmy.
Yeah, Jay versus Jimmy. It's going to be, they could carry this storyline out for months.
Well, it's one of those things, it's like, you fell in line.
Yeah.
Make him understand. Make him understand.
Yeah.
Make your own brother understand.
Teach him.
Would be fantastic.
Yeah. Guys, that's pretty much it for this week in wrestling. What did you guys think about Monday Night Raw, the results of the G1 Classic, the results of the Ring of Honor Pure Title Tournament? You know what to do. Let us know on the Facebook. What am I, 90? On Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Find us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below, and find us on Twitch, because we do that now. Stay tuned for the AEW Full Gear pay-per-view pre-show extravaganza special coming up right next.
He has no idea how to end videos ever.
I just ramble.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.